Hey everyone, welcome back to Unsolicited Bourbon Reviews. This is episode 29, and today we're reviewing Eagle Rare. It's a nice little 10-year bourbon out of the Buffalo Trace Distillery. Not only are we doing Eagle Rare, but we're going to do a Eagle Rare store pick, which is again, going back to what our store picks are. It's a barrel that the liquor store will pick, and then it'll be specific to the palate of usually the owner or the distributor group who, thinks it's a little bit different. So usually the barrel picks are in a more ideal location in the warehouse, and usually has a different profile or much more desirable profile than what it would normally be. So I think this would have been a good opportunity to do a Which One Wednesday. So we have a regular bottle of Eagle Rare right here. As you can see, I totally hate Eagle Rare and it's disgusting. That's why I don't have a whole lot of it. But due to, we'll say, supplies, we're not running short yet, but we need to start making this shit stretch like a Mrs. Fields cookie. So we'll do it today. We'll review it, and I think this will be a good one to get started on. We haven't done an allocation in a while. I know we did Weller. Weller is a little bit easier to get. But Eagle Rare, depending on where you live, it's, much harder commodity to get. So I'm fortunate enough to live in an area and go to a store that, takes care of me, and, it's pretty readily available, up here in the Middle Tennessee, Nashville area. But, we'll talk a little bit about it. So mash bill is undisclosed. So it's very common for Buffalo Trace, Weller, obviously Eagle Rare, Pappy. They don't really disclose the mash bill for their pours, but it just says mash bill Buffalo Trace mash bill number 1. So whatever that means, but you can definitely believe it's going to be probably in the 870 plus corn range. This one, we'll talk more about it, but it's definitely on the sweeter side. So probably less rye, and it's got, obviously that malted barley in there. So this is a 10-year. You can't miss. So retail price for this 750 milliliter bottle is $26, and this is legit what I paid for it. I think actually I paid even less. I think I paid $24 for it. So it's generally anywhere between 24, we'll say 30 tops. But the aftermarket, people pay just outrageous, stupid prices for this shit. And we'll get more on that again, this whole allocation thing. And I think, a lot of these companies, they definitely understand the laws of supply and demand. Again, the product themselves aren't that expensive. Sometimes they're not as great, but because of the scarcity of the resource, then it makes it, more popular and people are willing to pay obscene amounts of money for it. So let this breathe a little bit. As you can see, I definitely had this before. It had finished off a regular bottle. So again, this is a store pick. We'll pour it. So this dark profile on this, you see this is, we'll say consistent with being at least an 8-year plus. So in this case, it's a 10. Nose in the front, very subtle, very sweet. This is only 90 proof. With that being said, it's a very easy sipper. I think this is probably the reason why it's so popular. But yeah, I smell fruit, some honey, get some oak on there. And I wish we would have done Which One Wednesday, but again, these missed opportunities. But I taste cherry. It does have a little bit of a citrus finish. So I think definitely the rye mash bill might be a little bit higher than what I initially assessed. So I'm kind of talking out both sides of my mouth on this. So kind of a citrus taste front end, but as it kind of got going through the palate, I definitely taste cherry, honey. The oak is there. I'm not overbearing with the oak taste, but maybe on the end, maybe like a toasted caramel, toasted vanilla. vanilla, maybe a little marshmallow. No, I don't know, not marshmallow, but I think vanilla caramel, definitely there. Fruit at the end. But enough about that. We'll rate it. So value. So for a $26 10-year, the value, it's a 10, right? So I would definitely say the value. Now anything more than $35, I wouldn't pay for this. And unfortunately, with the secondary market, people pay in excess of $100 for this, and it just gets stupid. Taste, I think there's some better 10-year offerings. Again, I'll segue back to the Russell's 10, but I'll say taste, solid. We'll say 7.5. We'll kind of reel it back in, and we'll say 8 overall. So appreciate it, guys. We'll talk soon, and thanks a lot.